Mantra number 3. Atmanam rasinam viddhi.
Atmanam rasinam viddhi.
Shariram rasamevatu.
Shariram rasamevatu.
Buddhim tu sarathim viddhi.
Buddhim tu sarathim viddhi.
Manah pragrahamevacha.
Manah pragrahamevacha.
Indriyani hayanahu.
Indriyani hayanahu.
Vishayamsteshu gochara.
Vishayamsteshu gochara.
Atmendriyamanoyuktam.
Atmendriyamanoyuktam.
Bhoktetyahurmanishinah.
Bhoktetyahurmanishinah.
Yastu vijnanavan bhavati.
Yastu vijnanavan bhavati.
Ayuktena manasa sada.
Ayuktena manasa sada.
Tasyendriyanyavashyani.
Tasyendriyanyavashyani.
Duštāśva iva sāradhe.
Duštāśva iva sāradhe.
Yastu vijnānavān bhavati. Yuktena manasā sadā. Tasyendriyāni vashyāni. Sadashva iva sāradhe. We saw Vijnanavan Purvokta Viprita Samahita Chitta, one who is together, mind and intellect, emotion and cognition, they are together. So, and Nipuna knows the road, what is the goal. There is a clarity about the values and the goal, clarity about the ideals, that I should live a life of dharma, etc. That is Vijnanavan. And Yuktena manasa sada. So the mind is not instinctual, but has a samahita chitta. There is a relative mastery over one's own mind. And tasyendriyani vashyani. Sense organs are under control, meaning thereby they cooperate. They are befriended. Senses are not no more enemy, they are friend. They are conducive to his pursuit of moksha. Sadashvaha ivadharthe. Like the tame horses, in general, this person is sada samahita chittaha, always together. Sada means often together. There may be some weaknesses, some vulnerable areas, some vulnerable emotions. Generally speaking, together person. Now see the next mantra. What happens to these guys? Yastva vijnanavan bhavati. Amanaskas sada shuchi. Nasatat padamapnoti. Samsaram chadigacchati. Yastva vijnanavan bhavati amanaskas sada shuchi. Nasatat padamapnoti samsaram chadigacchati. Okay. See, these two mantras talk about two types of sarthi. Vijnanavan, avijnanavan. Two types of reins, samanaska, amanaska. And where do they reach? Earlier two mantra talked about the status of the horses. When it is Vijnanavan, Samanaska, Sadashvara. horses are under control. Sense organs are managed. And if it is amanaska, avignanvan, horses are dushtasvaha, untamed, uncontrolled horses. Now, when such horses are there, untamed, that means person is amanaska, no mastery over the mind and no wisdom. Where does he end up? Where does the sarthi end up? In other words, where does the chariot go? Where does this master go? It is true in a way important the chariot should be saved. This chariot means body. This Manushya Janma is a unique Janma. It should be protected. So they say, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhana. It is a means for Dharma. So in Gujarati they say the first Sukham is healthy body. You have a good body so that you can pursue Dharma and Moksha. Now this person has to, what happens to Ratha, what happens to body, and what happens to the Swami, the master who is sitting, the Jivatma, Bhoktet Yahur Manishana, that we discussed yesterday. Body is Ratham, sense organs are the horses, mind is a rein, Buddhi is a Sarthi, and the inside master, one who holds this Ratha, is Jivatma, the individual. What happens to that individual? Where does this individual go? What destination does he achieve? Ratha Swami, the owner, where it goes, that is talked in these two mantras. Previous two mantras talked about the gati, the status of the horses. These two mantras talk about the gati, the destination, the movement of this Ratha Swami. Where will he go? That is being told here. He says, where does he go? Samsaram chadigacchati. He goes to samsara. So he continues to be in samsara or goes to samsara. We'll see. Who? Yastu, same thing. Avignanavan bhavati. He is avignanavan, indiscriminate. Amanaska doesn't have mastery over the mind. Then what does it happen? Ashuchihi sada ashuchi. That's the next consequences. First consequences is dushtasva, untrained, uncontrolled, unmastered horses. The second consequences is there will be ashuchi, impurity. We'll explain what is shuchi and ashuchi. And saha, that person, that Swami, nasatat padam apnut. He doesn't attain that padam. He doesn't attain that goal, which is going to be talked in the next mantra. That Vishnov paramam padam, that gantavya, that destination, is not, he doesn't achieve, but samsaram chadigacchati. He goes to samsara. Who is this fellow? Avignanavan bhavati. Avignanavan bhavati means lack of discrimination. Again, what kind of discrimination is not there? First, viveka is dharma, adharma viveka. There is no discrimination regarding kartavya and akartavya. Secondly, no discrimination regarding the attitude behind the kartavya. That Ishwararpana buddhi is not there. Thirdly, because of since Ishwararpana buddhi viveka is not there, antakarana shuddhi is also not there. The fellow doesn't live a life committed to dharma. Therefore, there is no possibility of vairagya. Atma, nitya, anitya, viveka is not there. Since there is no vairagya, there is no mokshecha viveka. Since there is no mokshecha viveka, there is no viveka to go to teacher and surrender and shraddha and pramana, etc. All is not there. So, these different vivekas are consequences of the previous one. if one has dharma, adharma, viveka, at least commitment to duty, as they say, duty first. My kartavya first is a priority. If that is there, that life committed to dharma may one day give some punya phalam, thereby this fellow has some attitude of Ishvara. Bhakti comes. Otherwise it doesn't come. Even to see Ishvara, to live in the awareness of Ishvara, you require some punya. And that punya is earned by the life of dharma. And unless you have that attitude for a long time, you don't get antahkarana shuddhi. So there is no question of vivek, etc. So one leads to another. This fellow is aviveki, avignanvan, right from day one. This means what? In simple terms, their values, or let us put it this way, the definition of successful living. There is a picture. Each one of us has a picture of successful life. I made it, or I am successful. The definition of successful living is only arthakam, no dharma. So, money, kama, that is a bala. Vitta mohena mudham. That is a goal is maximize pleasures and maximize my buying capacity, security. That is a goal. So that is aviveki. Now, when there is no dharma in it, amanaskaha, the emotions will prevail upon his actions. There is an emotion for artha, emotion for kama, that will prevail over action, which fellow will be compromising the means for the end. End is important, not the means. So the ethical means will be compromised because there is tremendous value for artha and kama, the emotional investment. That's what his or her attitude is. And when they compromise that is called amanaskaha. They don't have control or mastery over their own emotions. Emotions, instincts, reactions is a driving force for their life. They are driven by system. They are helpless to their own emotions. There is so much of emotional investment in sensual pleasures and security, money, etc., that in spite of knowing what is the truth or not, what is the proper way, they keep on compromising. Therefore, in course of time, they will become ashuchi, impure. Shuchi in English, it means cleanliness. There are two types of shuchis talked about. Bahya shuchi, antara shuchi. Shaucham is a value. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, shanti rajavam, acharya upasanam, shaucham. The 20-point program, that is a shaucham. By the way, let us understand what is the need for shuchi, cleanliness. When you live a clean life, when your surroundings is clean, that means you live a disciplined life. You live an alert life. There is no looseness. It gives a shift when you make it clean. Why? You have not to create clean purity, but you have to refrain from uncleanliness. That's all. It is not that you have to work for cleanliness. You have to refrain from uncleanliness. Exactly like a teenage boy or a girl in a home. The room will be all ashuchi. All the clothes lying here and there. Some of them I have seen. Their parents have given a big bed. On the bed itself, the clothes are lying for 3-4 days. They don't even care to put it in wardrobe, Change clothes are here, books are here, all the girls and so many. Sometimes girls are more clean, but boys are there. And then, and I have to go to somebody's place for breakfast. Generally, children's room is on the ground floor in the bungalow. Parents are upstairs. So they are ordered that tomorrow Swamiji may use your room for freshening up. The fellow cleans the room. Nothing. Where? Behind the door. So when I close the door, I see. And then, like somebody said, I love my clothes more than my wife and children. So why you love so much? I tell you, they are so good. Moment I see them, they fall at my feet. Yes, everything in the wardrobe, he opens and they fall at his feet. So he says, my clothes fall at my feet, I love them. They are more surrendered to me than my wife. So that happens. When I close the door, some of them do Sharana Namaskar. And they are jeans. For 1 week not clean, so I just pick up like that and put it back. See, when you have to keep it clean, however tired you are, you have to put it at a proper place. You automatically become disciplined. See, cleanliness helps you to grow over tamas, grow out of rajas. However tired the fellow may be, we'll make sure to put the things at its own place. External cleanliness. And it's a tapas by itself. At the same time, one should not be so fastidious also. Everything should be clean. So that becomes the goal. Some of them want the house to be so clean that she doesn't have time to attend classes.
Extreme.
That is not such. Mental cleanliness is proper thinking. Antarshaucham, proper thinking, means commitment to dharma. Antarshaucham is I live by Shastra. The Shastric wisdom rules me. Shastra rules my life. Therefore, they are called Shastra. Shasanam karot. They rule you. They rule you means whatever it has been said, I follow. Shastra drashtihi. You always think, this is what I have learned and this is how I should live. That is Shuchi. Purity. Understand? Not cleanliness. Mind cannot be clean. This world can be clean. But maximum you can say Shuchi or clean mind is with reference to Ragadvesha. They are called Mala. That's why English translation is impurity. Mala is not impurity. I mean, in a way, yes. So when you say that is impurity, that is purity. Absence of Mala is purity. Shuchi means pure heart. Mind that is relatively free from the pressure of likes and dislikes. No insistence. That there is, in other words, the mind that has some space here to think, to be objective, to listen to somebody. Otherwise, when it is so crowded with likes and dislikes and strong values, that strong values makes it ashuchi. My way or highway. These guys are not ready, as I said, for any kind of even suggestion. It is so closed. Because anything you say is internalized. They will tell, he is telling me, I'm not bad, I'm always good. That's a complex from childhood. want to prove themselves that I am a good person. That complex sometimes, childhood issues, parents didn't encourage or didn't protect the child and wanted to prove, become acceptable in the eyes of the parents. The child within still is there, wants acceptance from the near and dear. Any kind of rejection, there becomes resistance. There is a pain, it gets resisted. So Shuchi is a person who has some space here. To listen. See this, to have strong values is also raga. There is one definition of vairagya. What is viraga? No adhrada raga dvesha. Not to have strong likes and dislikes. You may have commitment to them. But either or situation is not there. I'm ready to reconsider. I'm ready to rethink. I'm ready to restructure. That kind of openness is Shuchi. So, Ashuchi here, that is Shaucham in that context, that is called purity. Mind is pure. Pure means Shuddham. Shuddham means free from the holds of likes and dislikes. Now, this fellow is Ashuchi. Why it is Ashuchi? Why? How come there is impurity? Because the goal, the aviveka is there. Mind is full of fancies, means he goes by vasanas or unconscious. Since that is the case, the goal of life is only arthakama. It is only pursuit. Dharma is not the goal. Value is there for more money and more security and more pleasure. That is the goal. Now when the goal is that, or the vision of successful I is that more money I am successful, more power then I am successful, more pleasure, I am big house, a big car, and all that, then I am successful. That means artha kama is a goal. The nature of artha and kama is such that more you have, more you want. That here the statement, na jatu kama kamanam upabhogena shamyati. Havisha Krishna vatmaiva bhuyeva vijaya. More pleasure you have, more you want. The kama is a desire that yes, I want this. I have to have this so that I can be happy. But more, that means you are trying to satiate this fire of kama within you by fulfilling a desire. Fulfillment of a desire, to satiate a desire, it works just the opposite. More you fulfill, more it wants. It is like pouring ghee or butter into fire to extinguish fire. It just works the opposite. Therefore, day by day, the person given to just sensual pleasure, his or her day by day demand for that pleasure grows and grows and grows. Further and further, it wants varieties also, and the satisfaction what he had earlier is no more there. That's a nature. Like first time you take, simple example, cup of tea, feel better, refresh. But after 3 years, one small cup doesn't work. One tumbler. And that time, that much tea, and that too a typical Gunju will need tulsi and all masala chai. Then something happens. Otherwise nothing happens. If the highway 3 you take, it is so strong, my God, your hairs will stand. Take a cup of tea. It's so strong tea they give. Because the drivers need that. They are the main clients. In Gujarati they said, "Sotli khuto." Choti become like this. The typical Indian choti will turn like this. That's how the strong they want. This is what a kick. doesn't get the impact. More I have, more I want. That is the nature of any sensual pleasure. And that is also the nature of artha. Any amount of security you have, you will never feel secure. More secure you think you became, you become more insecure. More you had no money, then I thought that 100 rupees, come, I have 5. Then 100, you become insecure till you get 1,000. Further, 10,000. So the benchmark of security keeps on shifting further and further. Having millions of rupees, the fellow was a pauper, still feels insecure. That's the nature of artha. More you have, more insecure you are. More pleasures you have, more you want. So that wanting more, our Pepsi Cola had an advertisement. Ye dil mange more. This heart mange demands. These two words are Hindi. Ye dil, this heart, mange, more. More is English. This heart wants more. Pepsi Cola, dil mange more. Always true. That's so true. We think more we have, more secure I feel. More you have, more insecure. Whether you feel insecure or not. But the kick to have more continues. That is so vivid today among the rich guys. They keep on acquiring money and power and position. For what? I don't know. Originally started for survival. They have enough to survive 7 births. Next 7 births. But still, desire to be more. If you are number 1, India, I want to become number 1 world. It goes on. If you are number 1 world, then I am financially 1, but power-wise not 1. So I want a political clout. It should be respected by politicians and accepted. Always. That is true with money. That is true with pleasures. Formerly, good clothes were enough. Ultimately, I go for shopping to Dubai. And then go to Paris for designer clothes. Something new I want. To feel secure. To feel happy. That's why today whole economies thrive. They keep offering you new things and the guys always want new. Now, this desire creates a pressure within. When I can't fulfill that desire through legitimate means, I tend to cut corners. I tend to compromise the means. I tend to follow adharma, that is ashuchi, the pressure. See, people cheat. They do wrong things in business. For what? Sometimes you wonder, what for are you doing? You have enough money. But there is the pressure to have more. That takes time. Sometimes when I read the figures of corruption in India, you wonder, why is that fellow doing this? What do they get out of it? Just a kick, I have more. In India, if you have 10 crores or 5 crores, you can survive luxuriously. That you cannot imagine in US and Europe. That's only one thing I tell you. You may have anything there, but it cannot match. you don't get housemaid service.
Yes, true.
However rich the fellow, he has to do dishwashing. He has to make his own coffee. 24-hour servant does that. Get it? And you don't get drivers. He has to clean the car, he has to wash the car, himself has to do. You don't get all services, carpenter, plumber, all you get. You don't need money. You still keep doing other. All those rich guys beyond the limit, just do adharma for the sake of kick. I did it. Pressure. Pressure of what? Pressure to have more. That is karma. In the 3rd chapter, Arjuna asks, Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati ku. Hey Krishna, prompted by what this fellow commits sin? Anichannapi varsne. He himself doesn't wish himself or herself, but still commits sins. As though forcefully enjoined to do. Baladiva niyojita. Bhagavan says, Kama esha krodha. Desire, the pressure to have, pressure not to have is so much that you all get. You read newspaper. They murder people. They murder children. Out of this, some relationship, God and children is obstacle. Finish it off. On pressure. That is ashuchi. What ashuchi? Slowly, sada ashuchi. That fellow will live a life of adharma, unethical life. Life of improper means and ends. Means acquiring papam. That's a bad bargain. You got some wealth, you got some pleasures, but then in gaining them and protecting them, you have to invest so much of time. You don't have enough time to enjoy them. That is another problem. All those fellows, those who have, they don't have time. When I came to US first time, 25, 30 years ago, one of my student boy from here, he's in San Jose or somewhere, town planning officer. He was new that time in India, he was here and went there and he told me, Swamiji, how do you see this, my planning? I said, excellent. Very good, because every house has a front courtyard and back courtyard. And there is a walking trail, and then there is a road, everything is there. I said, oh, excellent planning, but only thing is there is nobody to sit in the courtyard. In India, if you have a lawn, you will sit. Yes. You will have a jhula and enjoy with the family and say, at least morning breakfast will be done there. I said, all that you have planned is for me. When I finish morning class, finish evening class, mid-morning I go for a walk. Pujo bhaiya now, not a crow is there. You enjoy the flowers, you enjoy the lawn. They have to maintain for us. What's the use of it? I said, you are leaving the space. The city is expanding all the way. So the fellows living in north-east has to travel to west. And west fellows to travel to east. Everybody is on the wheels for 1 hour. Then I got better have chawl. So at least don't have to travel walking distance to office. Morning, evening, 2 hours they spend. So I said, this is best planning. And therefore, automobile economy also runs. I said, you have everything but no time to enjoy. In India nowadays, I see this. They built home theatre. I asked them, how many times did you sit? Never. Swamiji, when children were there, they were using, but we don't use. Why did you build it? That is ashuchi. Even while compromising dharma, creating papam, you aggrandize the wealth. At least enjoy it. They don't have time to enjoy it. All their own possessions. They don't have. And if there is a time, there is no leisure here to enjoy. They have everything. And their leisure is only when they go for vacation. There again another pressure. I am in this star hotel, that fellow is in that star hotel. And among this facility, this is better, that is better. It goes on and on. So Ashuchi is papam. The people who are given to their fences, people who are not clear about the goal of life. The purpose of human birth is to commit to dharma. And when they just commit themselves to artha kama, they gather together new sets of papa karmas. And what they earn here, they have to live here. Papa will come with them. And then, even when they left here, they had no time to enjoy that what they possessed. So, that is Asuchi. And that fellow, Nasatat Padamapno, Sada Ashuchi, uncontrolled senses. And ultimately, that is Shaucham, that is Vakyam. Sarvesham eva Shauchanam Artha Shaucham eva Paramam. As he says in Mahabharata. Among all the purities, the Shrestha purity is that your wealth is earned through proper means. The money that you have, the wealth that you have, there is nothing, you have not employed any improper means to gain the money. That is a Shrestha Saucham. And then, this fellow having Ashuchi life means the wealth they have gathered is not through legitimate means. Patanjali says, Aste, Yamaniyams, Aste, Ahimsa, Satya, Aste, stealing. Modern society, a civilized person will not steal anything from anybody. You don't go to neighbor and pick up the things or you don't do it. But then, stealing the wealth of the nation is Ashuchi. You don't pay tax. You do compromise in maintaining the resources of the government. All that is all Ashuchi. It is stealing. Nowadays, people do chori or stealing of credit. The work is done by other fellow, he takes up the credit. And I did it on social media and other things. So, Artha Shuddhi is very important. Money that you have should be gained through proper means, not through adharma. This fellow, Ashuchi fellow, Nasatat Padamapnoti, he doesn't gain that Padam, but Samsaram Chadikachati. He continues. He doesn't reach into samsara, he continues to be in samsara. Why it is said he gachati? Because there was a chance. Human birth is the only birth where you have a chance to get free from samsara. But he missed the chance and went back to the cycle of birth and death. Samsara, cycle of birth and death, means what? Cycle of dukkha. See, birth per se is not a problem. Nothing wrong in having birth, nothing wrong in having death. But between birth and death and while birth and death, there is only dukkha. That samsaram chadi gacchati means continues to be in dukkha. Like Swamiji will say, what is human life? All the time there is dukkha. When he improvised and he grew old, dukha, he means dukha. That was improvisation. Ultimately dukkha. People think person having lot of money and pleasure items are happy. They have better possibility to be happy, but they can't be happy when the life is ashuchi. When you have earned through wrong means, there always will be fear. There always will be guilt, because you know I have done something wrong. You cannot have guilt-free life. You cannot have fear-free life when the means of earning is wrong. Therefore, such fellows cannot trust anybody. Because the whole thing is because they have betrayed the trust of others. They can't trust. Exactly like carnivorous animals. These lion and tigers, they kill the prey by cheating. Very quietly they go and that fellow is innocently grazing and then go and pounce and eat. So they always have fear. Somebody may do same thing to me. So they can't sleep. The tiger may be sleeping, lion will look around. There is a fear. While I am sleeping, somebody may pounce on me. But look at our buffalo. Look at our cows. They don't care. Even the buswala honks, cyclewala honks. Anything passes by, they are in their own world. They have not cheated anybody for their food. They always do that. So when you have betrayed somebody, cheated somebody, there is always fear that other fellow will cheat. Shankaracharya therefore says, Utradapi dhana bhajam bhiti sarvetraisha vita riti bhaja govindam. That is why samsaram chadi gacchati. They go to samsara. Meaning they remain in samsara. They had some chance to be free from samsara. There was a point where they could have gone up, but they preferred to go down to the cycle of birth and death. You see.
Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om